Here are 15 ultra long form YouTube niches that genuinely feel like cheat codes. Now guys, this is by far going to be the most valuable video I've ever made. So as you guys know, ultra long form content, aka content that's like 2 to 3 hours long, entirely made with AI, is absolutely exploding at the moment. And what I've gone ahead and done for you guys is compiled 15 of my favorite ultra long form niches, some of which I've never ever covered before on this channel. So lock in, let's get into it. And guys, really quickly, if you want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. It'll be linked down below. It's just a really cool networking environment. I'm going to stop yapping. Let's get straight into the video. And guys, really quick, this isn't financial advice. It's merely me giving my opinion. And coming up first, we have a channel that is kind of no stranger to this channel. I've made videos on this kind of channel specifically before. This one is called Space Dust. Now, I have their analytics. I know exactly how much money they're making. Their RPM, meaning how much they're paid per 1,000 views, is upwards of $40. Yes, you heard me right, 40. A lot of you guys might try and dispute what I'm saying. I can kind of guarantee you that the RPM is actually that high in ultra long form specifically. But as you guys can see, they're essentially posting entirely AI-based content on the space niche. So they're getting 447K views a month with a $40 RPM. This one channel is doing on average about 17K a month. And of course, if we go ahead and watch these videos,
appears as a faint blur in the night sky.
It is literally just an AI voice, an AI script. And you might be saying, well, Blake, how do they get the background videos? This is kind of the craziest part of ultra long form. All they're doing is going to Pexels, which is essentially a free to use kind of copyright royalty free website where they have a bunch of free to use videos. And if we look up space, there's just like thousands of space videos you can genuinely just use, put in your videos, make a massive folder of like 10 hours worth of videos and just reuse those for every single upload. That's kind of one of the valuable things about ultra long form as a whole, is that there is essentially zero startup expenses. Obviously, the only caveat kind of being, you know, the voice acting. But other than that, there really isn't too much. But yes, this is an exact example of a really good and profitable ultra long form niche. Only problem is it is getting a little bit oversaturated, so I'd probably recommend going with another one on the list. Now, coming up second, we have Uncharted Mysteries. Now, they've kind of stopped doing regular ultra long form, but I definitely think taking some of their outliers could do really well. They essentially post videos like the hidden connection between all the world's pyramids, obviously 20 most guarded places on Earth that you cannot visit. Once again, entirely AI voice, AI scripts for the research, and AI scripts for the actual video itself. And they're essentially posting videos on history. So like mind-blowing archaeological discoveries no one can explain, 20 historical mysteries, 2.5 hour long videos. Once again, RPM is probably about $25 on this niche. The only reason I say that comparatively to the 40 on Space Dust is because their videos are like kind of alternating. Some of the videos are half an hour, majority are 3 hours. But as you guys can see, they're pulling in 1.5 million views a month, the $25 RPM. This one channel is probably making about 37K a month. Now we are getting into the territory of niches I've never shown before. Lock in. This one is called Cyric. I recently found it. They only started about a month ago and they haven't been posting very consistently. As you guys can see, they finally started locking in on videos, but they're actually monetized. They've been monetized off of just 7 uploads. Now, what they essentially do is like 2 hours of Hollow Knight facts to fall asleep to, 2 hours of Elden Ring, Sonic, kind of different types of game genres, and they're essentially posting lore-based videos to fall asleep in that niche.
In Skyrim, when dragons roar, they're not.
Once again, entirely AI voice, entirely AI script, and all they're really doing is making the first like 1 minute have some subtitles, and for the rest of the video, it's literally just remade background gameplay from that show. You guys can see they're even like referencing some of the sources they used, and it's completely just free to use content that they're taking from the internet. Now, once again, they haven't been going for too long, so it's kind of hard to get an indication of how much money they are actually generating. But of course, if you were to post consistently, daily, I could definitely see this niche getting 200K views a month very, very easily, which of course with a $20 to $35 RPM would probably be about 5K a month. And guys, really quickly, if you want to work directly one-on-one with myself to scale your own ultra long form channel, go ahead and check out my one-on-one mentorship program. It's innervault.co. We've just opened up a bunch of new slots. Of course, you can work exclusively with myself and my team to scale your own ultra long form channel from scratch. But yes, guys, let's get back into the video. I am so excited for the rest of these niches because I've really gone ahead and handpicked some. Now, next channel is called Ricktopus YouTube. This is a bit of a caveat. I want to kind of get into this. Now, what they essentially post is like 2 hours of Rick and Morty or kind of Rick type content, lore-based videos. So like 8 hours of Futurama and Rick and Morty lore to fall asleep to. They're absolutely killing it. I mean, they're very, very new, only starting about 4 months ago. And 4 months ago, they weren't even doing this kind of ultra long form videos. They were doing normal videos. So really, they only kind of started doing this style about 2 months ago. Now, in that time, just in the last 2 months, they've got 374,000 views. Now, in a niche like this, once again, RPM is probably about $25. This one channel off of just 1.72k subscribers has probably made close to $10,000. Now that is obviously insane. I can't really say that about any other YouTube niche or genre as a whole. I mean, ultra long form is just an entirely different beast. And I think one of the most valuable things is the fact that these could 100% be made with AI. Now, what I kind of want to get into is the fact that we can take what's working for them, but replicate it in a different fandom. Now, what do I mean by that? They're doing Rick and Morty. We could do this in The Simpsons, in Game of Thrones, in Family Guy. There are so many different kind of sections in which we can kind of replicate their working formula, but just change the genre. Next up, we have Hidden Hokage. This is very, very interesting. I just found this today. Now, they're essentially posting, once again, ultra long form lore videos on Naruto. This is once again one of those things where I was saying take from what's already working, but do it in a different genre. And that's what they've nailed. They've done it in Naruto. Now, they only just started very, very, very recently, but of course, they're finally getting some success. They're essentially posting videos like 2 hours of obscure Naruto lore to fall asleep to. What if Naruto was raised by Kaguya? Full story. What if Naruto learned all the jutsus in the Scroll of Wheels? Once again, they are actually monetized, which is of course a very, very good thing. And they're essentially going to have about a $30 RPM. Now, as I said, I have found this channel very, very early on. They haven't exploded yet. They haven't really got this to the point where it's doing insanely well. So this is definitely somewhere you guys could come in and absolutely dominate in this specific niche. Of course, if you're getting 400k views a month with a $25 RPM, that's once again a $10,000 a month channel. Now, coming up next, we have Hushed Theories. This is effing insane, and I've just found it. They just got monetized, but I do want to keep one thing in mind for you guys. What they're essentially posting is like ultra long form Stranger Things videos, like Stranger Things 5 disturbing theories to fall asleep to, Stranger Things 5 theories that will haunt you to fall asleep to. Now, one problem with this specific channel and this niche as a whole is that it is only blowing up because Stranger Things season 5 is about to come out. As soon as that show comes out, this niche is probably going to die. So please be aware of that when starting this. This is a short-term money grab. This is not something that's going to be around long term. So if you are looking for a long-term ultra long form, I wouldn't recommend it. But as you guys can see, they're blowing up. I mean, the entire Stranger Things timeline to fall asleep to, literally 21k views, 3-hour video, times that with a $30 RPM. That one video probably made over $500,000. And yes, coming up next, we have Red Umbrella. Now, these guys are not monetized yet. As you guys can see, of course, they don't have 1,000 subscribers, but the fact that they've only been going for about a month to 2 months, and they've really only just started posting consistently really recently is a good sign. Now, their new videos are starting to perform really, really well. As you guys can see, they're actually posting alongside their partner channel, and that partner channel is actually something we spoke about just before, Rictopus. So this guy is obviously printing. He just recently started as well, but he made a second channel called Red Umbrella. Rather than posting Rick and Morty lore videos, he's done exactly what we said about changing the TV show, and now he's doing them about American Dad, about Peter Griffin, about Family Guy, all these different fandoms. And as you guys can see, he's not even posting that consistently, but is getting super, super close to monetization. And on this brand new channel, in the last month, he's got 180,000 views, which with a $25 RPM would have also been $4,500. Next up, we have Football Explainer. Now, these guys are absolutely killing it, and I will explain why. They're posting videos like every big conspiracy NFL theory in 30 minutes, 3 hours of NFL scandals to fall asleep to. Now, reason why this channel is killing it, and of course, the reason why the RPM would be so high, is because NFL is primarily a US-based sport, meaning it's primarily showed in America. Now, the reason why that plays a massive factor in determining RPMs is, of course, people based in the US are much more desirable by advertisers, rather than if you had third world country viewers. Now, NFL, once again, not only combining a highly US-based demographic into ultra long form, is just going to boost this RPM an insane amount. I mean, if I had to guess, and once again, this isn't financial advice, but I would say it's probably over $45. Of course, super interesting channel. They're absolutely banking, and they only started about 6 months ago, so it could be a good one to look into. I figured I'd add it to this list. Coming up next, we have Healing Me. Now, this is a lo-fi channel that's obviously making all of the music directly with Suno AI, which is a completely like free to use AI music software, not sponsored, but they're essentially posting, and these are probably the easiest videos I've ever seen. They just milk and loop one AI image throughout the entire video with some lo-fi sounds that they got of Suno, and they're essentially posting like Winter Cafe at nighttime, cozy lo-fi hop. Now, one thing I will say about a niche like this is try and do different genres, which you're going to see a little bit later in this video, but don't think you need to stick to kind of this cozy autumn vibe. I mean, you can do Minecraft lo-fi, you can do samurai Japanese lo-fi. It is getting a bit oversaturated. If you were to stick with something just like coffee or just regular lo-fi, it does become a little bit oversaturated, but these guys only started about 1 1 year ago, they're pulling in 500,000 views a month. And keep in mind, the RPM on this type of content isn't going to be as high as the other channels we spoke about. And that's solely because there isn't English-based talking. There's no speaking. It's kind of music. So you are going to be attracting a less US-based demographic, if that kind of makes sense. But RPM would still be about $15. So this one channel is probably still making $7,500 a month. And once again, little to no expenses on a niche like this. Next up, we have a channel that I've spoke about recently. This one is called Drift Away Ambience, and they are absolutely printing. They're posting 10-hour-long, entirely AI-based Minecraft lo-fi songs. Once again, using Suno to make the videos and entirely just posting like Minecraft lo-fi. These guys are pulling in 4.4 million long-form views a month with about a $15 to $20 RPM. I'm going to go ahead and say 20 because the videos are 10 hours long. So they're probably making about $88,000 a month in pure profit. Absolutely insane. This niche is one that I would say is super untapped and really good to get into. Literally just looping one Minecraft image the entire video, and of course just look at this. This is insane. And of course they are absolutely banking. And the craziest part is they only started very recently, like about 1 year ago. Now we have a super unique one. This one is called Good Night's Sleep. Now I've never found this channel before. I recently found it today, and I think they're doing an insane job. They have started about 2 years ago, so it is somewhat old, but I can definitely see you guys getting into a niche like this. They're essentially posting all different tales to kind of fall asleep to. So for example, Elden Ring tales, 6 hours of cozy dark fantasy and lore to fall asleep to. You fall asleep in a pirate tavern listening to stories of the sea, ancient tales of the zodiac, all these different kind of stories to kind of fall asleep to. Once again, entirely made with AI, and I see a lot of room for improvement on their specific thumbnails as a whole. Now they're pulling in about 716,000 long form views a month. Once again, entirely English-based content, probably pulling in close to 20K a month in pure revenue. Now, this is a very good channel that I recently found. This is called Arcavelli. They're essentially posting ultra long form on Five Nights at Freddy's and other kind of scary horror games, and they are absolutely printing. I mean, look, they're obviously monetized. They're pulling in on average about 1 million views a month. RPM is probably about $35, so about 30K a month on average. And once again, entirely AI videos, posting like the entire Resident Evil 4 story to fall asleep to, the entire lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, fall asleep to the evil within timeline, all these different Five Nights at Freddy's and kind of different genres merged into one ultra long form channel. And this once again funnels into what I was saying about finding a niche that kind of works and just doing it in different kind of fandoms until something clicks. And then once again, once you do that, you become the only person kind of in that specific genre even doing that. Now guys, we're getting super close to the end of the list, and these I've saved for last. Now, this guy, The Story of Games, once again, I found someone that isn't monetized yet, so a really good prime opportunity. But they're posting videos on like Red Dead Redemption and all these different lore-based things on that, like the entire Jin Sakai lore to fall asleep to. They haven't blown up yet, but they are very new, only starting a couple of weeks ago. Once again, not posting too consistently. They only just recently started posting consistently, and you can see their videos are starting to do really well. Like this one got 7.8K views, the entire Dutch Van der Linde lore to fall asleep to. Try saying that 3 times, you wouldn't be able to, but yeah, they're essentially posting Red Dead Redemption lore and just using AI for the voice, AI for the script, and just making some good quality ultra long form content. Now, coming up to the second to last channel, we have Stories of the Imperium. I found this today as well, and I think it's insane. They only started 3 months ago. They have 41K subs. I'm just going to show you how insane this niche is. They're essentially posting videos like the horrifying life of world eaters in Warhammer 40K, what happens when humanity finally learns the Emperor is dead in WH 40K. I think this is kind of a channel based on scary lore and different kind of scary games, and they're absolutely pulling in crazy views. I mean, if we check their view stats profile, 1 million views this month, RPM is about $30, probably pulling in close to 30K a month. And last but not least, we have Sleepy Shack. This once again has merged kind of the Game of Thrones, Family Guy, American Dad ultra long form, but merged it with Harry Potter, which is something I was kind of thinking of doing. Now, posting videos like 3 hours of magical creatures lore to fall asleep to, and one of the good things is you can use like Hogwarts Legacy background gameplay to kind of make this content, which is super valuable. Once again, you can kind of use it for free, which makes this kind of really easy to get background content for. Only starting about a month ago, and they're absolutely pulling in crazy views. I mean, they are monetized. I wouldn't say they're making too much just yet because they aren't posting consistently. But once again, when you find these channels that aren't kind of tapping in and capitalizing on the success they have, it leaves a lot of room for someone to come in. So this channel is only making about 2,500 to 3K a month, but once again, not posting too consistently, and they are still relatively new. And yes, guys, if you want to work directly with myself in scaling your own ultra long form YouTube channel, go ahead and check out innervault.co, working work directly with myself and my team, and we'll try and scale your ultra long form channel. And guys, really quick before we end off the video, if you want to join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. I hope you all learned something new. This was an insanely fun video to make. I will see you all later. Have a great day.